it's mad funny because when I was talking about how Casamigos and stuff, like, what the fuck? I saw a post and it was basically saying, like, when I'm on that liquor, no, when I'm off the liquor, talk to me nice, but when I'm on that liquor, make sure you slut me out. Mm-hmm. I was like, ooh, that's that Casamiga talking. Yeah.
She had that one extra glass that just sends you right.
Listen, Casamigos will get you to somebody's casa. Might not be yours, though. Good or bad reasoning. Just don't get the cops called on you. Anywho. Hey, y'all. What's up? It's your girl, Jay. And today we got a nice, spicy conversation that's going on all over social media. And it's going viral, whatever. But we're going to talk about it because it's very much necessary to have this conversation. As per usual, I'm always going to let y'all know. We're here to know better so we can do better. And we're going to get right into it. But before we do, actually, I lied. I had this poll and it was going on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. And I was talking about men, true or false. Does being upfront with a man scare him off? What about you, Lee? Does being upfront with a man scare you off?
When I was younger, yeah.
Okay. Because I was like using the example of like a woman stating where she's at in life, what she comes with, and like what she wants as an outcome for herself for dating and stuff.
Yeah.
And I find like, well, you know, the dating pool, yes, it's a cesspool, but you know, out here dating, it kind of like I've been through some interesting times. It's been real out here, very real, and you know, it goes to that cliche like statement of, oh, men are intimidated by a specific kind of female, blah 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 blah. But I don't really think it's that. I wonder if it's just like the directness. But then I thought men are logical, and you know, you want to be direct. I just don't understand.
Men want to be direct.
Okay.
Boys are very much still running from the cooties. Like,
okay.
And boy isn't subject to an age, it's subject to a mentality.
Okay. Maturity?
Yes.
No, first off, let's talk about that maturity word. It's maturity, okay? Like mature, picture, that T-U-R, chur. All right? Mature. Stop saying mature.
I'm going to put a little thing, it's going to...
No, I need you to really put it because that should be pissing me off. Like, people are really have that maturity. I'm mature. No, you're mature. That's maturity. Okay, anyways, I digress. Sorry. It was a trigger. Clearly.
But yeah, boy isn't really subjected to an age as it is a mentality. So a man that knows what he wants, knows what he's looking for, he knows what type of woman he's going after. So therefore, he knows he's not going to waste a woman's time that's pursuing him if that's not what he's looking for. Okay.
So I find, right, now this is going to be more so anecdotal than it is anything else. I haven't taken a full consensus yet, but I shall. Trust me, I'm going to actually have a quiz. Not a quiz, but like a consensus. I'm going to have all my subscribers and viewers and just people who support Jay Slade and what we're doing with Slay Your Perspective. I'm going to have all y'all take this, poll because, excuse me, so unladylike. I'm going to have you guys take this poll because I really need some answers. But anyways, like the whole concept of, damn, I lost my track of thought. Shit. I hate when this happens.
Squirrel.
Yeah, and you know it's so funny. I actually had back to my anecdotal experience because I know that's what I was talking about. There was one guy that he was like, I'm in the middle of a conversation and then I like jumped to something else. I said, I'm so sorry. I said my attention span be like a dog. He's like, I see that actually. I'm like, I don't know if that was like him saying like, you know, he understands or him being funny, but it's all right. I can't help it.
Look at you thinking back on it.
Like, no, because that shit really had me feel like I'm like, oh, well, I'm sorry. And it made me want to shut the hell up because, you know, it's just literally how my brain works. Like, if something will spark. Maybe I have. No, I don't have ADHD. No. Can't be. In this very moment, she had a realization. Also. All right, anyways. So, yeah. So, that's what it was. So when it comes to dating and stuff, right, a lot of people will say, well, like, or I even forewarn a lot of people, most women will show their representative. Most people, it's not even just like, you know, isolated to only women. Most people will show their representative. So a lot of times you're dealing with someone who's going to play like with their poker face on and like they're going to present themselves how they deem you want them to be presented. You know what I mean? So I wonder if that's like coinciding with the whole concept of being upfront and direct about what it is that you want and where you're trying to go and what you come with.
Possibly. But
because, like, you know, just like parenting, dating really has no book. There's no cookie cutter way of doing it. So it's just like one of those things, like dating, relationships, parenting, like it's literally like almost like a free for all. Like, you know, we're all trying something different and seeing what works for us. But actually, you know what? My Facebook has been jumping this week when I think about it, because there's a few things that I've been posting because I just really want a consensus. I want to understand like the whole topic of conversation about the 50-50 thing. Like, all right, let me pull it up. I want to be verbatim, you know?
Put the intermission music right.
I love the intermission music. That honestly is like my favorite part. I think we should use that more often, especially when I have my squirrel moments. Imagine someone starts calling me squirrel. Don't you guys stop calling me squirrel, all right? So this week on Facebook, if you guys don't have me on Facebook, y'all can try to add me. I may or may not accept the request, but y'all can follow me on Facebook because it's public anyways. But it's under Jocelyn Decudo. And I do tend to post a lot of fuckery, but at the same time, I do post really good conversational pieces on there. So I posted, things men find unattractive in women. That shit went crazy. Then I also posted things women find unattractive in men. That post went a little nuts. But there's one particular one that stuck out to me outside of the first one that I talked about, the men are true or false. There was a topic of conversation where a man was stating that like he knows a lot of people are in relationships where the man does pretty much everything, and they're essentially miserable within that relationship dynamic. And he was saying that like for him personally, he feels as though that he just wants it 50-50. So the topic was centered around going 50-50. It was stated that there are known relationships where the men take care of everything and their partners is still unsatisfied with the relationship, and their relationship is miserable. My comment is as follows. So in my opinion, 50-50 never works. The woman ends up building resentment towards the men, the man, because she has to do things equally to the man, and the man builds resentment towards the woman because he feels she doesn't fully respect him due to her constantly voicing opinions and not allowing him to fully lead. The sad reality is women feel love through security and men feel love through respect. Men are respected for the resources and ability to provide. Women are respected based on their beauty and cooperativeness. Most relationships fail because people carry childhood traumas that are unresolved, and they also were never taught effectively how to relationship in conflict. Women are indirect because it makes us feel special, special, feel good Kool-Aid, it makes us feel special when a man picks up on the hints and surprises us, quote unquote surprise, because it's not really a surprise. We kind of told you what we wanted, but we told you indirectly. So therefore, when you do it, it's like, ooh, not ooh, what does this button do? This is the different ooh,
Manipulating ass motherfucker.
Shut up. Shut up, no sir. Men like directness because they are logical. Simply put, women's brains work like spider webs. Men's brains work like boxes. Women can intermingle all their thoughts and feelings as they go, but men compartmentalize their thoughts and feelings. They, the men, tend to have a routine to help them transition from their work box to home box and etc. Thoughts. And that actually had a lot of good feedback as well, because a lot of people didn't realize like those key pointers essentially gives a good synopsis of, the men and women exchange. But it ties in with my other question that I had asked, previously, as far as like, women being direct and whatnot, because a lot of times I feel as though like I always say like there's hierarchies in life. That's just how society works. We need to stop this whole making things equal, because it's never equal. When I say about the 50-50 doesn't work, is because of leverage. Now, not saying like, who you got to be quicker than that. I'm not talking about that kind of leverage. I'm talking about like someone being able to make the final decision or the final say and they own it. You know what I mean? Because if you think of a business, which I tend to look at relationships and marriages as business, because essentially we're two entities coming into corporation, or like incorporating ourselves together, and from there the kids are the franchises, like, you know what I mean? So for me personally, going into business with someone, it never works being 50-50, because when, say for example, a situation, we might relatively share a like-mindedness or have similar point of views, but when it comes to a decision that needs to be made for the company, you know, company, relationship, whatever, there still needs to, and we can't seem to, like, finally, like, we have a breaking point where we can't see eye to eye, and it causes us to, like, no, I want this, no, but I want this. Who has the final say? You know what I'm saying? Who's like, no, we are going this way, if it's 50-50. So I always suggest to people, do the 60-40, 70-30, 80-20. I don't know. Figure it out. Even if you do 55-45, whatever. Figure it out. Someone needs to have the final say. And the reason being is because, and then people will say, oh, well, that puts us to a patriarchal setting because I will wait. Let me know where in this whole globe there is a matriarchal-led democracy or whatever. It doesn't exist. It just doesn't. There's a reason behind that. Just like, you know, what a lot of people have to understand, because then it kind of goes with my brain. Then it kind of goes with, like, the whole concept of, I watched this documentary, What is a Woman? It was really, really good. So it talks about how, like, you know, sex is a biological, like, you know, a biological construct, like, you know, you're born with what you're born with, whatever. But the focus, we're not talking about that because I'm not getting into that conversation today. But the focus is how gender, how people are saying that it's fluid. It's really a temperament. So there are females that have a masculine temperament, and there are males who have a feminine temperament, which I thought was a very interesting perspective. And if we tied into the whole concept of the relationship, because people are saying, well, we got to go with what works for us. So if you have a woman who has a masculine temperament, and then you have a man who has a feminine temperament, maybe they could work, and it still has to be 55, 45, 60, 40 or something. It still can't be 50-50, because someone at the end of the day has to make the final say. Because shit, we need a fall guy. Right? I mean, let me know what you think. I don't know. Anyways, so we're going to dive into the next part of this whole conversation.
Pause it, because I'll just flip the edit. If you want, you can watch it on your phone. I can, like, bring the video up in, like, the corner.
Okay.
So that you can, like, in case you want to
we
whole
could
thing or stop and say certain stuff.
All right.
Whatever, so.
All right, cool.
All right, so you need to just go right back into it like I didn't just stop it.
All right, I got to find the link so I can, All right, so this has gone viral on Facebook. It's from TikTok. The username that I'm able to pull the video from is official bees too funny. And essentially it's talking about this woman. We don't know the full context. I'm going to go based on assumption. So allegedly, you know, I guess a lot of people praise her. Well, all right, let me double back. She has, I'm assuming, based on the audio you're going to hear, and the video should be at the bottom. Apparently she has multiple kids with multiple fathers. I'm going to assume there's a total of 4 kids, because I heard him say that he was doing for his son. And she's like, what about my other 3 kids? So the math is mathing for me to be 4. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think. And so I'm assuming she must have called and said, like, you know, your son needs some food, or whatever the case may be. He brought his son food, and she decided that she was going to go about her way to expose this man, because she's tired of people saying that he's a great father, blah, 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 blah. But the way she's looking at it is like, okay, but he's so great, yet he's only being concerned about his child, not my other children. And we just gonna play this clip real quick.
Day my baby daddy come here with one meal for my child, but I have 3 other kids.
Okay, so see,
we have 1 kid together, but he only want to come and bring one thing to McDonald's. But what about my other kids? How come you can't feed my other kids at McDonald's though? Like, that's bogus as hell. Like, you're not finna sit here and make my other kids feel left out, and you're only bringing one child something to eat. Look, they're.
Now, I get where she's coming from in the aspect of, like, you know, one kid eating and then there's others just watching, because I was raised, you know, we don't do that. But however, sis, them your kids. He got one kid with you. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand how people, like, it's almost like the entitlement for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, super, super fucking entitled. But whatever.
Go, and I bet you he only got one thing in there.
Hell yeah, he got one. He got one kid.
I'm finna expose out of him so people can see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up?
Yo, hold on, pause that. You called him and said your kid is hungry.
Yeah.
You called him and said your kid is hungry.
Yeah.
He brought his kid some food.
Right. I know.
You didn't call him and say all my kids are hungry and he dubbed you.
Right.
You called and said that his
So
child,
it's like she set him up.
that's what I'm. All right.
She set him up.
Carry on.
Because I'm finna expose you. What? Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just one burger? One burger, one fry?
What he like? What do you mean?
Okay, what about my other kid? No, I don't get my food stamps to the 7th.
You know I don't get my food stamps to the 7th. Now, back to, what was it? Shit. I want to say episode 2, where I talked about the Moynihan scissor effect. People need to understand that welfare is designed systematically. Well, let me backtrack. Welfare is a system that was designed to keep us in a certain position. We should not be relying on daddy government to feed our offsprings. In no way, shape, or form. Granted, it's a subsidy. It should be helping us. It's assistance. But we should not be relying on strictly assistance. I digress.
That's my problem.
But if you're trying to help out, though, you're not helping out.
I'm not trying to help. I'm trying to help my son.
How are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids, his siblings? Them are his siblings, though. He not finna eat in front of all his other siblings and they're not eating at McDonald's. No, why do I gotta put...
Bring him out to the car. I'll let him.
Now, she's really upset of the fact that, what about them other kids, because they're going to go ahead and see him eat. Not for nothing, in my perspective, the way I see it is, he should have picked up his kid. Go ahead.
All right. You're saying, what about my other kids, right?
Yeah. What about them other
Those
baby
are
daddies?
clearly not, exactly. Those are clearly not his kids. You called him for his kid, and he came running.
Right.
He came as soon as you called to feed his kid, regardless of how much food he brought his kid.
Yeah.
He came,
Oh, shit.
he came and brought the food.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, what about my other kids? If they got a daddy, call them.
Right.
If you can't provide, that's their dad's job. If their dad's not in their lives, that's not my obligation. I'm not with you.
Right. And that's the biggest thing, too, because, like, my biggest drawback of the whole thing is it doesn't appear that they are together.
If that was her man, completely different story.
Well, no, but see, even if that was her man, and that's another, we're gonna get into that actually. I'm gonna finish this out. This is 45 seconds.
No, this is what I'm saying. Because if that was her man,
No, I know. I know.
not
That's what I'm saying. We're definitely gonna get into that conversation because this all ties in. Yeah, I'm telling you, like,
I'm fucking tripping.
yeah, I'm trying to tell you, like, this whole week I've been having fun on Facebook because these are the conversations we've been having. But yeah, hold on. Now, my thing with her is not for nothing, you should let your son leave. That way he could even spend time with his dad. What's the difference of him saying, hey, I'm coming to pick up my son, and then, you know, they go out to the park or they go do their own thing. The kids are not going to know what's going on, and then he brings the kid home and the kid's already fed. Like, what's the difference? Anyways.
And that's why he said in the video, he was like, all right, then bring him to the car so he can eat.
Right.
Like, my kid's going to eat.
She's
bro.
bitter.
I'm about to bring my son food. I got to bring your kids food too now?
Yes.
You sound dumb.
How is that dumb? You sound dumb. You sound dumb.
She sound dumb for the simple fact that she's over here screaming she don't get her food stamps until the 7th. I really wish to know how many days is until the 7th from this recorded. Cause sis,
Your kids ain't going to eat every day.
yeah, like, hold up.
Them niggas going to be hungry, bro. With some
Nobody
book
told you
sandwiches.
talk to my other. You had them other kids. Them your responsibility. They're not my responsibility.
Okay, but if you're gonna bring one, you need to bring it for all. How do that shit look that I'm...
And does she know? Well, alright. I'm gonna assume she does not know how expensive McDonald's burgers be. You know what I'm saying? Like, not for nothing. So my son, listen, my kids, like, they love their McDonald's, which I try to keep it very minimal, but even just for them two motherfuckers, it be costing me like $25, $26, you know, a trip if we go. So it's like, sis, fuck you mean he's about to, like, now, all right, so assuming there's 4 kids, right, and I'm only feeding 2 myself, that's like $50. Who's coming up $50 just to go sit there and, you know, feed? Nah, that's just wild. It's wild.
One child eat McDonald's and all the rest of the kids can't eat no fucking McDonald's. You know I get food stamps on the 11th.
That ain't 3 kids. That ain't
Oh, it's the 7th to the 11th.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
McDonald's. You know I get food stamps on the 11th.
That ain't 3 kids. That ain't mine. 3 kids. That ain't mine. What do you
Yeah,
look like? I bring-
they're his
I
siblings.
bring him-
You knew what you was getting into when you had a baby with me.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You expect me to take care of all the kids? They're not my kids.
Okay, but you still had a baby with me who have kids with other people. I still have other kids.
Why are you recording me? First of all,
Because I'm exposing. Everybody think you such a motherfucking good daddy.
I'm a good daddy.
No, you're not. No, you're...
He is a good dad. You called him, your kid was hungry, or your kid called him saying that he was hungry, and his dad came and bent to that child's will to bring him some damn food. That is a good father. Like, not for nothing, you could tell that he's clearly attentive. And the fact that you are sitting here talking about, like, he has to help with your other kids, man, he's not even with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, at the end of the day, like, you need to call your other 3 baby daddies, or call how many other baby daddies you got. That's wild. You're clearly bitter. Like, you're going out your way to go ahead and expose this man. You are bitter.
Nah, you're foolish in this bullshit. You only come here with one piece of food for one child.
The child that's mine, silly.
Silly.
No, that's dumb that you can't feed the other kids. Don't feed nobody at all then. He can't take that. He can't eat it.
Maybe if you had 1 or 2, I can, like, you know, maybe. You got 3 extra kids. What the? All I go to my account, spend money on all those kids. Them not my kids.
Them are your kids' siblings, though. Dumb.
So that's what you gonna go with? That's the one you gonna
Those are your fucking kids' siblings.
They my.
Like, sis thought she was really doing something by doing all that. Like, not for nothing, she definitely played herself with that, because there's no way any of us are really going to truly side with her. Any female out there that's going to side with her to make it seem like blah, 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 and they're going to talk about the man's character. Oh, well, you know, it's about being mindful. Mindful is what she should have been, sitting here having all them damn kids and relying on daddy assistance. You know what I'm saying? Daddy government ain't out here to, you know, nah, I'm sorry. So, like, you know, everybody's putting out their, you know, sentiments, their opinions, things of that nature. I had to come from my experience with considering the fact I have 2 kids with 2 fathers. And at the end of the day, my stand is exactly this. As a mother with 2 kids from 2 fathers, I make sure my kids have what they need because they are obligated to me. If the father wants to do for only his child, not the other, I'm not bashing him. I'm going to make sure I cover the other kid because that's my duty. Y'all got to stop making this hard. Don't rely on daddy government and do what's needed to fend for the kids that you bring into this world either, you know? Welfare should be used as a stepping stool. If you want to get out of it, you will make it happen. I've been there, done that. Not to mention, he ain't even the man of the house, so he really ain't even got to consider pizza as an option to keep that sharing is caring energy. We need to be real and stop the bullshit.
What he like? What do you mean?
She went out bad for that. I'm sorry. There's no way. And now, let me be clear, because, you know, I also had to make sure I let it be known. Like, you know, let's be clear. How a person moves, especially pertaining to innocent children, speaks volumes on their character. Now, people thought that I was, like, you know, going from, you know, that stance of he's not wrong to saying that he is wrong because he didn't do. First off, no. How she's moving. The fact that she's not thinking about her children's well-being. If you're going to sit here and call your child's father because your child is hungry, send your kid outside so that you can spare your other children. Contact their fathers or make it happen. Call your family. Do something, you know, figure it the hell out. You know what I'm saying? There's no need for you to sit here and go bash him because that speaks on you. Now, some people actually think that she's not wrong, but she really just went out of her way to try to embarrass him, but she really told on herself. As far as him, the only thing he could have did different is the fact that he could have asked to have his kid come with him and took his kid out the house, you know, considering that there are other kids there. But there's plenty of kids who pick up, that get picked up by their dads, spend time with them, and then come back home. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, he's not obligated to those other kids. And it's like, we have to keep in mind, I'm a forever stand on this. There's a huge difference between a baby mama and a single mother. Stop putting us in the same category. Because a baby mama is the bitterness that we are hearing and seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shorty's definitely bitter. And she thought she was going off. Like, no, she went out bad with that. And, you know, I'm sorry. And not for nothing, if the tables were turned on the other way, that's like saying a man got 4 kids and he has the kids with him, and then the child calls their mom, I'm hungry, or the baby daddy calls, oh, can you feed your kid, whatever, and then the girl goes and brings, you know, food just for her kid and not the others. Are we going to have that same energy for her too? Because, you know, in all reality, shoot, I'm going to tell you right now, when my kid is with her family, or when my kid is with their family, whatever you want to go with, that's their responsibility to feed them. They're out of my care. They are in their family's care. And I'm entrusting the fact that their family is going to do what they need to do and be responsible for feeding the child while they're in their care. Now, I have went ahead and, like, didn't, send food or whatever in the past. But not for nothing. Like, my daughter called me right now talking about, oh, mommy, I'm hungry. But I tell your dad, you're in his care, not mine. Because when she's in my care, I'm not bothering nobody. Nobody got to worry about nothing. So let's keep that same energy on both ends. But I digress. What you got to say, Lee?
I think I said all I've had to say.
Where
my tone would be, because it's like, yo, all of it's corny, and the only people, and this is going to get whatever, the only people that validate behavior like this is other nasty-minded motherfuckers that do that same shit.
Yeah.
Yo. That shit is so corny. Like, that shit is so corny. I get it, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's different. Some niggas are going to make sure, oh, yo, I know my kid's mom got 4 kids. So let me
and that's the part that bothered me, too, with when she was saying about you knew what you was getting into when you had a baby with me.
And I also knew what I was leaving when I left.
Like, hold up.
Hold on. I also knew what I was leaving when I left. Those aren't my kids.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
If I can't handle that and I leave, that's me being mature enough not to lead you into thinking I'm here to take care of all your kids.
And but like the biggest take back from that whole situation is that this is exactly the stereotypical point of view men carry when they hear women have children. So back to the earlier conversation of women being direct, like that's like hypothetically speaking, I'm going in and I'm like, yeah, I'm single. I'm going ahead, like, I have this, that going on. I have 2 kids and whatever. Once men tend to hear 2 kids, that's when they start getting like real, like skating on thin ice with them, because they're thinking in their mind, okay, am I going to have to be completely financially obligated to take care of these kids that are not mine? And not for nothing, when we go back to an old conversation we had in one of these episodes, Animal Kingdom. Let's talk about the Animal Kingdom. Because usually if an animal, a female animal has cubs or whatever, they usually and like the father's not around or whatever, or like a new male comes in and is going to be with the female, they usually kill the offsprings. Not saying that's what we should do, that's not what I'm saying we should do, but what I'm saying is instinctively most men do not, like, it's not their like life vision or goal to be taking care and sharing their resources with children that are not theirs. Because as the late Kevin Samuel said, being a stepdad is not a good deal, because what does he have as a man to benefit from it? That child will forever say, you're not my dad, no matter how much blood, sweat, and tears you put behind that child. Now, I'm not saying that is a cookie cutter situation, because once I said, I'm gonna stand on it. It's not a cookie cutter situation. Everything is different for everybody, but it's the mindset of the woman that you have to be more mindful of, because there are mothers who understands, like myself, that a man coming into a dynamic with me is not financially responsible for my children. My children are my children in the sense of my financial responsibility. Now, if I go ahead and offset that financial responsibility between their fathers, that's one thing. But as far as if I'm going into a relationship or a marriage with a man, one, we share a lot of like-mindedness with the, decisions or views of discipline and things of that nature. So we won't really have clashing, perspectives with that. But also too, I'm going to put in my work, which is the whole point of the whole 55-45. People don't understand that 55-45 logic has to do with, if a man and I are in a relationship and we're going into a household structure or whatever, he pays the mortgage, that's covering the shelter. That's something that, he would be paying whether I'm there or not, because that's his home. But I'm going to go ahead and chip in with groceries, utilities, and the Wi-Fi and things of that nature. And as far as if he wants to help me with my car, car insurance or whatever, that's cool. But in all reality, anything that is considered shared resources that my children are utilizing as well, I'm absolutely chipping in, because that's not his financial responsibility that he's obligated to my kids. Now, there's just so much to unpack with this conversation. We're definitely going to have to do another episode on it and bring in more people with this, because I think that it's a conversation that's absolutely necessary for women, especially with children, to wake up, smell the coffee, and realize that men, especially the men that we all deem to want, they have options. They don't have to deal with us that got kids. The reality is, a lot of us, especially because already the statistics show that only 1 out of 4 black women get married, okay? And shit, we got 3 out of 4 that's a baby mama, essentially. The numbers is whacked, crazy whacked. If you guys go to blackdemographics.com and you really look through the data and statistics, we're booming with the single mother rate. Now, the reality is, being a single mother or being a baby mama, whatever, being a woman with children and you're not with the children's father, you are at a disadvantage when it comes to the dating pool. Especially because a lot of times, a lot of us don't keep ourselves up. And it's because we're overworked. We're overtired. We're not hitting the gym. A lot of us, do have a little bitterness because of, the traumas that we went through, we haven't healed from. We have childhood traumas on top of that. People have to just heal, eat right, exercise, get your mental good. Do what you need to do to make yourself the best possible candidate, if that is your goal, to be married or to be in a long-lasting relationship with a significant other. Men don't choose like women choose. Men don't think like women think. We need to be real about that. But until next time, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let's talk about this in the comments. Let's get the conversation started. Slide over to Instagram at Slay Your Perspective. And I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this. We definitely will have another part 2 of this. And I sure as hell will be trying to have men and women coming and having this conversation with me, because it's absolutely necessary. And we need to be realistic. We need to know better so we can do better and we could be better. And first things first is know what you want. Know who you are. And also, too, word of advice, don't be single for too long, because then you'll go ahead and be too stuck in your own fucking ways. You know what I'm saying? Of being in your own solitude that you don't even know how to really no. It's ass backwards. We're social creatures. The end goal is marriage and stuff. You need to make yourself uncomfortable and understand that this is what comes with it. If you find someone who relatively matches you in that sense that you could see yourself wanting to be with because of their mindset, okay? The mind is what's going to raise your child. Not the body, not the face, the mind, okay? Be real when it comes to selecting. Qualify and vet people, please. Lord Jesus. Sweet baby black Jesus. All right, I'm done. Peace.